There are so many people right now who are carrying things silently. Smiling in public, showing up for work, posting online, serving at church, helping everyone else, but internally they're exhausted, mentally drained, emotionally overwhelmed, trying to hold everything together while quietly falling apart inside. And for many believers, there's this unspoken pressure to hide it. To act like faith means you should always be strong, always okay, always blessed and highly favored. But today, I want to remind you of something that matters deeply. God cares about your mental health too. Here's the truth we don't say out loud. Your peace matters to God. Your emotional well-being, your rest, your thoughts, your burdens, your healing. All of it matters to God. Some people act like mental or emotional struggle is automatically a sign of weak faith. But when you actually read scripture, you see something very different. You see exhausted people, overwhelmed people, discouraged people, people who loved God deeply and still reached their limit. Even strong believers in the Bible had moments where they felt mentally and emotionally worn down. Look at Elijah in 1 Kings chapter 19. This was a powerful man of God. He had just experienced a major victory. But after intense pressure, fear, and exhaustion, Elijah became overwhelmed and wanted to give up. And what did God do first? Let him rest, fed him, gave him water. God allowed his body and mind time to recover. That tells us something powerful about the heart of God. Sometimes before correction comes restoration. Sometimes before the next assignment comes rest. We live in a world filled with constant noise, notifications, bad news, comparison, pressure, fear, overthinking. People are mentally overloaded. That's why guarding your mind matters so much. Romans chapter 12:2 says to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Isaiah chapter 26:3 says God will keep in perfect peace the one whose mind is stayed on him. What we continuously feed our mind affects us emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. If we constantly take in fear, chaos, negativity, and confusion, eventually it begins to weigh heavily on us. Sometimes you have to step back from the noise. Put the phone down. Turn off the constant distractions. Spend quiet time with God. Rest your mind and breathe again. And let me say this clearly. Asking for help is not weakness. It's a strength. Sometimes healing looks like prayer. Sometimes healing looks like rest. Sometimes healing looks like reaching out to a counselor, a pastor, or a trusted friend. God never intended for you to carry every burden alone. There are moments when community, wise counsel, and support matters. You do not have to pretend you're okay all the time. Some of you watching this are tired. Not physically tired, soul tired, and maybe nobody around you fully sees the weight you've been carrying. But God knows. He sees the pressure. He sees the mental exhaustion. And He cares. Matthew chapter 11:28 says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Notice who Jesus invited: the weary, the burdened, the heavy. So if your mind has been overwhelmed lately, don't hide from God. Run toward Him. Slow down. Renew your mind. And remember this: struggling does not mean God has abandoned you. And needing help does not make you weak. God cares about your mental health too. Remember, when you focus on Jesus, everything else becomes clearer. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.